you beautiful people. This is a video that just popped into my mind, and I'll just do it, and I just love going. I've said this many times before, just go with the flow and just do what I feel I'm being inspired to do. And this is about asking for help, or asking somebody for something you want. And it was in relation to this channel, and it's definitely not to persuade anyone, but if you're in the situation where you actually really want to subscribe, but you simply don't have the money that I'm asking, the 50 crowns a month, I just want to encourage you to take the step to ask, because it just came to me very strongly that I think it's one of those things, apart from many other things, that we're afraid to do in life because we feel it's not very nice. I mean, it's always nice to be rich and powerful and successful and beautiful and all these things, and just have it all going for you. And that's yeah, we like that. We don't like being poor and struggling and all these things. But really, no one has it all. And I really believe with all my heart that we're going to experience all situations, and sometimes there is a lack of money, or we don't have enough for something we really want. And I've made a video about this before, and I think it's very powerful that actually, as it says in the Bible, ask and you will be given, seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be opened. See, the thing is, many times life wants to give us something that we really want, but we're going to have to ask for it. And just from my own point of view, and from my own experience living on earth the last 54 years, I've done this. I've actually I haven't been afraid to ask many times, and I can tell you, my goodness, how many times I was given a yes. It's unbelievable, or actually it's believable if you believe. And that what encouraged me very much was to say to myself, I can only get a no. That's all. I mean, they won't kill me. Very few people will kill you, or something horrible happen. It's just, you just might be in a situation where the person says, I'm sorry, but no, I can't do that. And I want to take the risk. And I think it's very much about our self-image, and I think especially for men, I think it's harder for men because of the difference between, well, the woman is the receiver in the energy. The whole energy system of the woman is the receiver and the man is the giver. And so it's easier for a woman to say, oh, can I please have this and this? But I think it's very powerful also for a man to, when we're in these situations in life where we feel there's something we really want and we can't get it, instead of saying, okay, well, I'm just going to have to leave it, or save up for it, or just forget about it, or you have the opportunity to ask, and it actually takes a lot of courage, because you're being faced with the situation that you're the one asking for something, and you can feel it's humiliating. But really, as I see it, the whole universe is one big gift. It's all ours. Everything. I mean, this house, I'm borrowing it while I'm living here, and when I die, someone else is going to use it. It's not my house. So it's all ours. And I can just tell you some of the experiences I've had. Just little things like when I first met my husband, before we got married, we were in Norway. We sailed up on a little sailing boat with some of his friends, and we got to this beautiful, I mean, Norway is just so beautiful, And we got to this place, it was a little, you have these fjords, and it was in one of these fjords we got off the boat and we were walking up into the mountains, and there was this lovely area with houses, and there was this huge cherry tree filled with cherries, and it just looked so delicious, and they were completely ripe. They were just ready. They were just standing, they were just hanging there saying, "Eat me, eat me." And I said, that's just the way I've been, I think all my life. I said to my husband, why don't we go and knock on the door and ask for some if we can have some cherries? And his reaction was, no, don't do, you can't do that. And I said, well, I'm going to do it. And I did. And of course we could have some cherries. And they will be beautiful. So that was just one. Another one, which is a really big one, I feel with my cows and the land we have, I needed to get my cows onto it was a neighbour's area, to get them to a little water hole. And actually I would have loved to have some more grass for them at that period. And so I rang up this farmer he's actually bought most of the farms all over the place. And so he's very rich man, but he's just very down to earth and very friendly. And I thought, I'm going to ask him, can I take my animals over this field and use his water hole? And he said, yeah, sure. And I said, well, it's because I'm trying this new grazing system where the grass has to be quite long. So I'm actually I don't really have enough grass at the moment. And I didn't ask him for his land or anything, but he just said straight away, why don't you just use my meadow? And he has this huge area full of grass. These meadows are non-sprayed, beautiful meadows, and I can just use them. It's about, I think it's about 10 acres. Wait a sec. No, it's probably about 5 acres of land that I can just use. And the beautiful thing is, one of the areas, he uses it for hunting, so he has people pay to come and hunt. And the hunters and I have arranged so that I don't disturb their hunt, so I'm only there at a certain time of the year, but it's actually most of the year I can use it. And in one area there's these big spruce trees that were planted before we came, which is about 30 years ago, and they're huge, and I've shown them on some of my videos. They're beautiful. And here in the winter time, where actually it's so wet and muddy here, I would have to have all my animals actually in a stable, and it would be a huge job for me to do all the mucking. And so I realized the other day, or some months ago, I could actually put my animals under his spruce trees, and it's like a big stable, and they can just be there, and it's dry and warm and sheltered. So I actually also have a winter stable for them. Because I just asked, and he was so friendly. So he actually gave me more. I was asking for access to his water hole, and he gave me 5 acres of land to use. So I just love that, and I think it's so true. To try all, it's wonderful to be the giver and the rich one, but it's very important that we also just try the experience of asking. And the beautiful thing is that usually we get a yes. So it's just to turn this subject, which I think is actually a very big thing, and I won't end it here, because to really create a joyful life, and they say that in all these spiritual traditions, you have to ask for what you want. If you live your life waiting for something wonderful, a beautiful woman, whatever you're dreaming of, to come by, the chance of her coming is very small. So to say to the universe, I'd really love this. I'd love to have this car, or I'd love to have this land, or I'd love to feel really great in my body, or whatever. This is what I want, and to express it with words is very powerful. to just say it, and say it to it can be our close relatives. I'd love this, and would you please do this for me? Would you please help me? So powerful. They might say, no, I haven't got time for you. But they might say yes. And I really think the whole thing of helping each other, asking and giving, that is really making the love flow. Because in our modern lives, this video is becoming a bit long, but what is very sad about our modern life, one of the sad things, there's so many, one of the very sad things is that we don't help each other anymore. And especially a country like mine, where there's so much social service, people don't help each other because you can just go and get help somewhere else. I haven't got time. And really, why else would we be here other than helping each other and giving each other a hand? And when somebody helps you, or you know you have a friend or family who you can ask for help, and they often will help you, and you can help them, you feel this love flowing. That's like the highway of love. It goes in this, it's this interaction between humans of giving and taking, like the sea and our breath in and out. It's all, but if all we have is, what we do is often in our modern world is entertain each other. So we'll have someone over and we'll feed them, give them a meal, and we'll have a good time, and that's often what modern people are doing, just eating and drinking together. But I mean, ever since the beginning of time, mankind, we've been helping each other physically with different things to make life work. It was a giving and taking to simply survive also. And it's a wonderful feeling to both, to receive and to give. Yeah, I could just keep talking about this, because you have also the mother-in-law, or the granny, who's always the giver, and some of them, they cannot receive. It's just like if you bring them flowers, they'll just give them to someone else. They can't stand it because they haven't learnt the art of receiving. And it's actually very sad, because you can't always be the giver. You're also the receiver, and it's so wonderful to experience both. So this was just a little thing about asking. So if you're in a situation where you'd love to see these videos, and this is the situation for you, please ask me, because I think it's very natural and very true for us, and very healthy, very good. So take care, my friend, and bless you. See you.